Hello world, it is Wednesday, August 25th, 2021, and warm and humid this morning, and I think we may have some thunderstorms today, which may not be a bad thing because it's pretty dry right now out there. And eventually the heat and humidity is going to go away. I can't wait. The devotion for today is entitled Defiance, and it's written by Tony Robinson. Let me adjust my camera here for a minute. Written by Tony Robinson, and Tony bases the devotion upon 2 Corinthians chapter 4, verse 4 through chapter 4, verse 8 through 10, New Revised Standard Version. We are afflicted in every way, but not crushed, perplexed, but not driven to despair, persecuted, but not forsaken, struck down, but not destroyed, always carrying in the body the death of Jesus, so that the life of Jesus may also be made visible in our bodies. And Tony writes, I once picked this passage, or maybe it picked me, for a memorial service. I did this even though I'm not sure I had ever really gotten these words of Paul. What did he mean, always carrying in the body the death of Jesus, so that the life of Jesus may also be made visible in our bodies? The service was for Dolores, a woman with whom I had worked for more than 30 years ago. She was a bright, energetic person, except when she wasn't. Her life had been punctuated by 4 shattering psychotic episodes. Dolores lived with bipolar illness. Dolores knew whereof Paul spoke. She knew affliction, perplexity, persecution, and being laid low, which also meant she had every reason to give up on faith, even life. She never did. Reading this passage in the service through the lens of Dolores' life, I got it. It is the ringing note of defiance in Paul's words. Afflicted, but not crushed. Perplexed, but not driven to despair. Persecuted, but not forsaken. Struck down, but not destroyed. Down, but not out. Each phrase a kind of holy damn it. A shout of resurrection defiance in the face of harsh reality. In one way or another, at one time or another, we too are afflicted, perplexed, persecuted, or struck down. But Paul and Dolores tell us these realities aren't the last word. Even more, our very tribulations can bring the life of Christ in us into sharper resolution. I finally got Paul's words that day when Dolores interpreted them for me as we gave thanks for God for her life. There is in the Christian life, as there was in Dolores' life, a note of resurrection defiance. And Tony's prayer. For those saints who teach us through their own trials, we thank you. Amen. Well, in this devotion, of course, the title got me right away because we live in Defiance, and our church is on the campus of Defiance College. That was the first thing that struck me even before I read it. But I think this message is also important for us for a couple other reasons. One is to try to remember when we're in the midst of tribulations and persecutions and episodes, afflictions, to find something to hold on to. Maybe that's maybe that's faith, maybe that's Christ for you, but something to hold on to get you through the day and to get you to a better tomorrow. I have worked with people with the bipolar disorder as well, and oftentimes when they're down, that's all that works, is just finding one thing for them to hold on to. Sometimes it's hard, and occasionally people in those situations can't find something to hold on to, and that's really hard. But in some cases, we can be the living presence of Christ, not necessarily telling them that everything's going to be better, but just telling them that they're not alone and that you're with them, because that is the living presence of Christ. That is God, our Jesus, is the life of Christ made visible in our bodies. Just being present with folks who are struggling. And likewise, if you are struggling, reaching out for someone that you can anchor yourself to get you through the difficult times. That's important too. Don't be afraid to reach out. Hope you have a good day. Hope to see you tomorrow.